Good morning, everyone. It is Derek Jameson, and it is about 8:30 a.m. in California time. And I was just doing a light meditation, and I noticed that there's a process that was taking place during the meditation. And I also received the download that I should share what this process is with others so that they understand what's happening. There are different processes that take place when we are experiencing a download and or an upload of information, and also light transmission. And that is what this video is about. Many people hear the term downloads or receiving downloads. When I work with clients, I also refer to them as inspirations or revelations because sometimes that can be a little bit more accessible. But to me, it is all the same thing. Receiving a download of information. Now, different people receive downloads in different ways. Now, everybody receives downloads. So just because someone's saying, oh, I received an energetic download or a cosmic download, it doesn't mean that they're the only people or a specific niche of people are the ones that are receiving that. Everyone gets that, regardless if they are aware of that or not. And it can come in the form of inspirations, divine thought, creative new ideas, great feelings of understanding, all that kind of stuff. Anything that's inspirational, really, that comes into your consciousness is a download. So you'll hear different people talk about a download being a packet of information, meaning they received almost like a packet or a ball of information, and then they have to unpack it. They have to allow it to integrate, basically, so that they can understand it and pull apart. Sometimes people write in their journals so they can understand and kind of break it down. It's kind of like receiving a package full of Christmas gifts. Christmas gifts, and opening the box and going, oh my God, there's so many different pieces to this. Let me go ahead and unpack it and then put it together so that I can go ahead and see the whole and enjoy the whole thing for what it is. It's kind of like the same thing. I don't know, I was just given an image of a Christmas package. So different people are receiving different types of information as well. So don't compare what kind of information you're receiving to what someone else is receiving, because whatever you're getting is exactly what you need, and the information that pertains to what your mission is, what you're supposed to be doing with it, and anything that's going to help you out and or to help other people. So when I receive inspirations or downloads, sometimes it comes from a word that someone says. Sometimes it's from I'll see something flash across, like a video I'm watching, and then all of a sudden I get a bunch of information that reflects what that thing is. Now, it wasn't the information that was coming from the thing I was watching, but the word or the phrase almost like unlocked a code, and all of a sudden it opened up and said, okay, here's the information. Just these synchronistic moments that line up and then allow that information to flow through, because that's what synchronistic moments are, information about different things. So when it comes to downloads, it's like, well, how do I know I'm receiving a download? Remember, focus on the inspirations that you're getting, the creative revelations, the understandings of things that maybe you didn't understand before, or a divine thought that comes through. It can look very different. So when you receive those, just validate it as a download. And I would definitely journal it. So like I write in this book every morning, so much that it's almost finished. And if I receive a thought, I will literally write it down so that I can be sure that I note what the information was. And by doing that, writing it down, you're actually grounding the experience into the physical realm that you exist in. So you're bringing it into this physical experience and can be able to unpack whatever that thought form was. That little inspiration of thought is actually fortified with a bunch of information. But if we don't take the moment to elaborate on it, to write it down, and to expand on it, we don't actually get to see all the different facets of what that packet of information contained. Okay? So just for a tip on your downloads, focus on your inspirations. Think about something that becomes very clear or a thought you've never thought before. That's how great inventors and artists and musicians, you see they receive downloads within their dreams. You are very well receiving downloads in your dreams. Hearing a song play out that you've never heard could be a download from another version of you, another dimension, information that allows you to create from. So take those inspirations, begin to realize them into this material world in the ways that best suit you. So many people receive divine thought, but it is those who do something with the divine thought that are going to be the ones to reap the rewards of it, because they're being the ones that will materialize the experience into this physical reality. Okay, so that's part one. Part two is uploads. Now, this is not talked about too much, and that's why I really wanted to focus on this a little bit more than downloads. Uploads. When we are in our reality, this really came forward today to talk about, and I'm very aware that this happens, but today was like, talk about this. When we are in our daily lives, we're having experiences in this physical world. Every moment we have an experience to learn something new about ourselves and something new about the environment and how we are going to act among it. So as you're taking on information into your field, into your like, I'm learning new things, I'm having new experiences, I'm growing, my soul is growing, everything, you're taking on all this information. Okay, you're also taking on information and energy from your outside influences. So let's say you go by people and they have more of a negative polarized vibration because they, but that could be anything. It could be they have a negative vibration, they have a positive vibration. It doesn't really matter. You're still going to be taking it on, and fragments of that energy get picked up by your own field. Okay, and then we don't fully realize it. So there's what is known as vibroturgy, which is that everything carries vibration and that everything absorbs vibration. Okay, so even like the table that this is sitting on right now has received a vibration and is carrying one, not only from the IKEA that I bought it from, but from myself and the things that I put around it. So I have books and I have a few crystals under there, an archangel, and all that energy that I've infused to create this beautiful energy around the table, right? So, but that goes for everything that we go through. Buildings, that's why you can get a weird energy from buildings. That building has picked up energy over time and you're picking up on that energy, okay? So how does this relate to uploads? Well, we're receiving information from our environment and our experiences. And then when going into a meditative state or even going into sleep, you may notice, and I notice this very often, light will retract from me. It'll be like extracted from me. And I'll see it go like this, in a nice rhythm, right? And I see this, and when I asked the guides a while back, what was happening, like what's going on when I see this light come away from me rather than to me, they explained that they're extracting information and energy. So it could be, let's say I picked up some dense energy and it needs to move. Well, in a meditative state, you're in a very open place that allows that energy to move. So your angels and your guides and your higher self can be able to work with that moment of your presence. They are able to extract information, extract energy, extract light. So there's different levels to it. It's not all just one thing. That's why it's important that you ask the question, like, what's happening right now? What am I experiencing? So as I'm going through the one I'm just going to use today as an example, I saw the purple light that I usually see within my meditations when I get into a receptive mode was there. But this time it would create this ball of light and then pull it away. And pull it away in a nice rhythm, right? So I know that they were taking information this time of my experiences and the things that I've been acquiring over like the last week or so. They've been taking it and almost putting it into what you would recognize as a record, or some of you know as the Akash or the Akashic record. Taking my soul information and putting it into the record, extracting it. Taking that information or taking that light leaves room for more experiences and more light to embody or information to take on. Okay, so that was that experience. Now, let's say I went through a session and it was a very heavy session, and I was with a client doing a past life regression or a soul coaching session, and they released a lot of dense energy from the past. Let's say they just really unloaded. Well, what happens is, where does that energy go? They release it, but it's not like energy needs to go somewhere, right? So typically when a practitioner or someone like myself that works with people who release dense energies, it's easy for us to take it on. Now, that's totally fine if the practitioner or the healer or the person that is doing the work is responsible for clearing it and knowing how to be responsible for that energy, knowing how to clear it, balance it, cleanse it, and send it into light. Okay? So it's really not that big of a deal if that happens. But our higher guidance, our higher self is there to assist us in that process. So I find that when I do meditations, and I do meditations every single day, and I highly recommend, if you want to really unfold your gifts and magical opportunities and abilities, make sure you take time to allow that open state of meditation. You will be amazed at what comes forward. So I would receive extractions, and I would receive visions that support those extractions. One that's coming to my mind now that I'm being told to share, which is going to be very interesting, was not only did I see the light today, but after a regression one day, I said, you know, that was a really heavy one. I need to sit on the edge of my bed. And I just sat there and I did some deep breathing. Immediately, I witnessed this red dragon breathing fire. I mean, it was like a hologram projection, not like a mind's eye vision. It was a projection brought forward from somewhere, and the dragon was around me in the room, but it was breathing fire around everything that was around me, and it was clearing that energy. We have all kinds of guidance, all kinds of forms of guidance. It just depends on what is connecting with you at the time. And at this particular point, which was like 2 years ago, this dragon energy, red dragon, breathing fire, was clearing out, and I saw the fire come out. It was wild, it was beautiful, but they were working with me to help clear that energy for me. But this happens because I allow it. I say, okay, I'm aware of it, and I give permission for it. All right? So your guides and your angels are constantly working with you to help you and to extract those things. If we can be still and we can open up with the intention of allowing the extraction to take place, you can allow the information that you take on to go into your Akash, or the dense energy that you take on to be cleared. All right? So uploads. We are constantly uploading information to our Akashic record, our record of everything that is, has been, and will ever be. Okay, so we're taking we're offloading that information from our field, putting it on the hard drive is what I like to say. I like to say we're like computers, but we upgrade our computers, and it's helping us upgrade our computers. So that, speaking of upgrading, that goes along with downloads and uploads. When you're receiving a download, it could be an energetic download that is giving you an upgrade to your DNA, or your abilities, your body is getting an upgrade. Everything can get an upgrade. This most often happens during sleep. This is why you may wake up feeling a lot of intense heat at different times, and you're like, why am I so hot? Well, you're out of the way when you're sleeping. You're not sitting there blocking what wants to come through in an energy form. So when you are sleeping, and your higher self, your angels, your guides, the beings who work with you, can come in, reach through dimensions, and be able to work on you, extracting that information or infusing your energy and raising your vibration, raising your frequency. Now, when that happens, your energy can raise, but then what has to happen? Your body has to physically catch up with that experience. This can result in having major headaches. This can result in dehydration, feeling really thirsty. The heat that you feel, you could feel extreme fatigue. And these are all signs and symptoms of an upgrade or an energetic, download. And then your body has to catch up with it. The best thing to do during these times is to say, I accept the download. I integrate the information that is taking place, and I allow the process to happen. Saying that I allow that means you take control of the situation. You don't feel like a victim to your headache or your migraine. And you can process the experience so much faster because you understand it and meet it as an opportunity for growth. Okay, so downloads, information taking on that helps you to do what you came here to do. Uploads, giving information, extracting information. For me, again, it comes in these lights. When they move away from me, they pull the light from me. They pull it out like this. And it's beautiful. It's like almost like rings or balls of light, and it kind of like goes away. And then, but the same respect with that, I will receive light orbs and light energy when it comes to me. So I'm very aware of when energy is being extracted from my field or my experience, and I'm very aware when energy is being given to me, because you can see it come in. So next time you're in a meditation or you're having an experience like this, look at what the light is doing. Is it moving away from you, or is it moving towards you? Away from you or towards you? Okay, so I just wanted to drop this little video today. I just heard the message of like, you should share this information with people so people understand downloads, uploads, because people don't talk about uploads that much. And then also how the energetic body is affected by that, and the physical body is affected by that, meaning in that way that you are receiving symptoms, or you're like, why am I receiving a headache? There's multiple people that come to me and they're like, oh my God, I've had a headache, or oh my gosh, like I couldn't sleep last night, it was restless, there was energy. That's because a lot of processes are being done, especially as we move into new cycles. And that is what is majorly happening right at this moment. We're closing out a cycle right now, and we're entering a new cycle starting next month. That's a collective cycle. So many people are receiving these opportunities to clear and to upgrade. All right. So I hope this helped people out understand kind of the energy of what's happening right now, but more so realizing when you're getting downloads, what they are, how they can appear to you, how you need to expand on those by writing it down and documenting it. Also, that you are giving uploads. You are uploading the information and the light that you embody or experience into the Akash, into the bigger record of your soul, and that benefits all other lives you've ever lived with your multidimensionality. All right, I hope this helped people. I had fun in this moment. I came forward and I said, okay, I'll throw up the video. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Derek Jameson. Please subscribe and follow if you want to see other videos like this or channeling work that I do. I love being able to share information and would love to hear from you if you feel so inclined. All right, you guys, Derek Jameson. See you later.